Greetings to all the ordinary level candidates preparing for mathematics ordinary level, and welcome to the GCE Maths panel. In this lesson, we are looking at time and temperature. We begin with the concepts of the 12-hour clock and the 24-hour clock. Note, the words AM and PM are never used when discussing time using the 24-hour clock system. We mention just the hours. For example, 15 hours 30, meaning 3:30 p.m. Note as well that midday is PM, that is 12:00, and midnight is AM when talking about the 12-hour clock system. AM stands for antemeridian and PM for post-meridian, as you already know from geography. Some countries call the 24-hour clock system French time. Equally note that the first 12 hours are the same for both systems, though the 12-hour clock at AM. Secondly, for the next 12 hours, that is from the 13th hour, we add time to have the corresponding time on the 24-hour clock system. From midday to 11:59 p.m., the 12-hour clock system uses 12 p.m. to 11:59 p.m., while the 24-hour clock system uses 12 hours 00 to 23 hours 59. Midnight for the 24-hour clock system is 00:00 or 0:00. Midnight is 12 a.m. for the 12-hour clock system. Note, midnight is AM. Let us take some examples. 11 a.m. we are converting from the 12-hour clock system to the 24-hour clock system. So 11 a.m. corresponds to, note that the first 11 hours are the same, so it corresponds to 11:00. 2:15 p.m. 2:15 p.m. is the second half of the day, so I'm going to add this to 12 hours to have the corresponding fresh time. So I'll have 12 plus 2, which is 14:15. So 14 hours 15. 5:10 a.m. is during the first 12 hours of the day, so I'll just maintain it. You have 5 hours 10. 10:45 p.m. is the second half of the day, so I'll add this to 12 hours to have the French time or the 24-hour clock system time. That gives us 22 hours 45. Now this is the trick. 12:20 p.m. note that 12:20 p.m. which is in the afternoon, will be maintained on the 24-hour clock system to have 12 hours 20. However, 12:20 a.m. 12:20 a.m. is during the first 12 hours of the day, so it is going to be at the first hour of the day on the 24-hour clock system is 0, so you have 0 hour 20. Take note of this. In these other examples, or in example 2, we are converting from the 24-hour clock system to the 12-hour clock system. So 11 hours corresponds to, so these are the first 12 hours of the day, so it is maintained 11 a.m. Now AM comes in because we are talking about the 12-hour clock system. 6 hours 25, the same thing, 6:25 a.m. 23 hours 40. Now this is this is during the second 12 hours of the day, so that is PM. So we subtract 12 hours from 23 hours 40, and that will give us 11:40 p.m. 19 hours 22. This is during the second 12 hours of the day, so we subtract 12 from 19, that gives us 7:22 p.m. 12 hours 35. Note that 12 hours 35 is in the afternoon, so this will give us the same thing, 12 hours 35, but now it is PM. 0 hour 11. 0 hour 11 means 11 minutes after midnight. So that will give us 12:11 a.m. Okay, these concepts have been explained. Let's take some other examples that you mostly see in paper 1. This involves GMT and local time. That is standard time and local time. So GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, is standard time, and the time in any other zone is measured relative to GMT. Time in some cities are ahead of GMT, for example Paris, and other cities are behind. So Paris is 1 hour ahead of GMT, so we say it is at GMT plus 1. Others are behind, like Chicago, 7 hours behind GMT, so we say it's at GMT minus 7. And other cities like London and Accra have the same time as at GMT, so they are at GMT plus 0. If you want to put minus, the same thing, just GMT 0. If time at GMT plus 4 is 11 p.m., what will be the time at GMT? So at GMT plus 4, it is 11 p.m. So to move back to GMT, we can use what we call the number line for time. So if it is at GMT plus 4, we just have to subtract 4 from 11 p.m. and we'll have the time at GMT, and that will give us 7 p.m. So 11 p.m. minus 4 hours gives us 7 p.m. Let's take some good examples. Cameroon is 1 hour ahead of GMT. If the time at GMT is 11:45 a.m., what will be the time in Cameroon? So Cameroon is 1 hour ahead of GMT. So if GMT is 11:45 a.m. and Cameroon is ahead, we just have to add 1 hour. So Cameroon is at GMT plus 1. So GMT plus 1 hour gives us 12:45 p.m. 11:45 a.m. plus 1 hour gives us 12:45 p.m. Example 2, standard time is 23 hours 30. What will be the time in Jamaica, which is 5 hours behind GMT? Note GMT is standard time. And if Jamaica is 5 hours behind, we just have to subtract 5 from 23 hours, and that will give us 18:30 or 18 hours 30. Example 3, Ankara, Turkey is 3 hours ahead of GMT, and Ferrando, Brazil is 2 hours behind GMT. If Ankara time is 12:15 a.m., what's Fernando's time? So Fernando time is 3 hours ahead of GMT, and Ankara time is 3 hours ahead of GMT, and Fernando is 2 hours behind GMT. So the time difference is 5 hours. So Fernando is 5 hours behind Ankara. Therefore, to have the time at Fernando, we have to subtract 5 hours from Ankara time, and that gives us 2:15 a.m. minus 5 hours, which is equal to 9:15 p.m. So the time at Ferrando is 9:15 p.m. Example 4, the match between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid is to take place in Spain at 11 a.m. and Spain is at GMT plus 2, that is 2 hours ahead of GMT. Maldin is in Australia. My friend Maldin is in Australia at GMT plus 10. At what local time should he watch the time or the match in Australia? Here we have to note that Spain is at GMT plus 2, while Australia is at GMT plus 10. So the time difference is 8 hours. 8 hours. Australia is 10 hours ahead of Spain. Since the time difference is 8 hours and is ahead, he has to watch the match at 11 a.m. plus 8 hours. So he has to watch at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m. Otherwise, you miss the match. Or you can give it in the 24-hour clock system, 19 hours. Example 5, which is on temperature. The temperature of a room at 8 a.m. is 22 degrees Celsius, and the temperature rises by 1 degree Celsius at intervals of 1 hour. What will be the temperature at midday? So after every 1 hour, the temperature increases by 1 degree Celsius. In the next 1 hour, increases by 1 degree Celsius, and so on. So what will be the temperature at midday? Knowing the temperature at 8 a.m. is 22 degrees Celsius. So from 8 a.m. to midday, we have 4 hours. And these 4 hours will correspond to a rise of 4 degrees Celsius. Since each hour corresponds to 1 degree Celsius, 4 hours correspond to 4 degrees Celsius. And since the temperature is rising, the new temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius plus 4 degrees Celsius, giving us 26 degrees Celsius. Example 6. If the temperature at town A is minus 3 degrees Celsius and that at town B is 16 degrees Celsius, this is a past question, what is the increase in temperature from town A to town B? This is just like the number line. Increase in temperature just means the temperature difference. So we have 16 degrees Celsius minus 3 degrees Celsius. And this will give us 19 degrees Celsius. Note that the minus not separated by any number is equal to a plus. That's like minus times minus. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. This is the GCE Maths panel. You can visit our blog for many other videos and on YouTube as well. And our next lesson is on ratio and proportion. I have been Dr. Miles, your host. Bye bye.